Faith Baptist Church, over the last couple of months, our systems have been upended just as we've tried to make things healthy and safe for people because of the spread of this virus, and we're happy to do so. At the same time, we want to be sure, as we look at the things that are required of us, actually ordered to us by the Lord concerning our church, that we're respectful of the things that He's asked us to do. I'm specifically talking about the Lord's Supper. We missed the Lord's Supper on Palm Sunday, and we want to come back to do that. But it means we're going to have to change our process. And I want to tell you in advance, we're planning to observe the Lord's Supper together, not this weekend, but the next weekend, which is the second weekend in June. It's the weekend of June 13 and 14. We plan to observe the Lord's Supper at the end of each of our 3 services. That's Saturday night at 6 and Sunday morning at both 9 and 11. We plan to observe the Lord's Supper at the end of each of those services. Ultimately, we want to be respectful of what Jesus has commanded us to do, and we want to be respectful of how He laid it out. And so we've kind of worked on a process to be sure that everybody is served as Jesus served His disciples at that Last Supper. And frankly, there's really one main difference. We're going to show you in just a moment, but there's one main difference that you're going to notice, and that is this. We're not going to be able to pass a plate as we typically do. There will not be a community plate that has juice in it or that has wafers in it that we pass up and down each row. We're going to do it differently, and we're going to show you now how we're going to do it. So at the end of our church service, when we do the Lord's Supper together, there will be somebody standing right here in the middle of the room. You can see I'm standing right in front of the pulpit. This will be either myself or Pastor Garrison or one of our deacons. He'll be standing here to help direct families who are going to come and collect their elements so that they can take the Lord's Supper to their family. And so he'll stand here, and let's just imagine that I'm seated over here, and so he'll point to me, and he might even say, Brother Kopic, and speak to me. And so he'll do so. If I'm over here with my family, I know the camera's tracking me now, and if I happen to be sitting here with my family, and he's just pointed to me, I'm here with my wife and my children, it's now my opportunity to get up, and I'm going to go get the elements for my family. I'm going to go up this aisle if I'm on this side of the room. If I'm on that side of the room, you know there's a corresponding aisle on the other side. And I'm going to go up this aisle right here, and I'm either going to find Brother Bill Anliker or one of our other deacons who are serving. On the other side, there will be a table as well. And Bill just washed his hands, and he will do so at any point that he makes contact with somebody else. He will wash his hands. And so I have a family of 5, and I will tell Bill that. I have a family of 5. And then he will hand me these elements that are here. He will hand me these on a plate, and there are 5 of them. And I'll take these, thank you, brother. I will take these down the outside aisle. I'll go down the outside aisle and back over to where my family is sitting, and I'll give these to each of my children and to my wife, and I will sit down with them, and I will take the elements with them immediately at this time with my family. At the same time that I've done so, other families are getting up, and they're doing because they're being directed by the same usher that directed me. And for that matter, there'll be some of you which may not be able to get up and to go up to the table to get the elements. And that's okay, because we have some appointed servants. They're going to come, and they're very happy to come and to serve, and they'll be willing to help you to do so. And they will go up, they'll ask you, hey, how many do you need for your family? And they will go up, and they will get it for you, or for you and your spouse, or for you and your spouse and your children, or however many you are. And they'll get it for you, and they will bring it back to you. And if they make any contact with you or with anybody else, they'll wash their hands at each contact as you would have expected. We want to show you how this works now. So we want to show you how this cup works. There's 2 layers of plastic on the top of the cup. The first layer of plastic is that first clear one. I'm going to peel that back, and as soon as I do, then I'm going to take the wafer out, and I'm going to take it immediately. I'm not going to wait for other people in the room. Remember, those other families are also being served. And so I will take the wafer immediately. And then, secondly, I'm going to peel back this other layer. This is kind of a foil layer. And this is a plastic cup, so I have to be a little more careful with this one. I'm going to peel it back slowly. Parents, you're really going to want to help your small children with this because the cup is plastic. I'm going to peel that back, and then I'm going to drink the juice as I follow the wafer. Now, just for the sake of clarity, a moment ago, I said that there would be servers who would come and would bring and help those ones who needed help. Those servers are also happy to help with this cup and with these elements, and they will stay with you until you have finished, until you're able to finish those things. And so you'll take that together as a family and with the help of the server. And I remind you, if the server makes any contact with anybody in the congregation, or for that matter, if they, out of natural reflexes, were to put their hands in their pockets, they'll immediately go and they'll wash their hands again before they would go to serve anyone else. Listen, church, as you do this, this is a very important time. So I want to encourage you to do it seriously and to pray then and to sit quietly and prayerfully until everybody in the congregation has been served. This is a great privilege for us as a church to be able to observe the Lord's Supper together. I'm looking forward to doing so with you, not this weekend, but the next. It's June 13 and 14 in each of our weekend services. God bless you. Hope to see you then.